Hey everybody, welcome back to another Final Fantasy 14 stream. Picking up where we left off yesterday with Newfound Adventure. I believe this will be part 3 with the way I segment them. So, let's get back into it, shall we? Oh fuck, I forgot to, Forgot to do this earlier. Well, let's test the soundboard while we wait.
It's rewind time.
You suck!
Yeah. When you're cancelled, right?
Emotional damage!
Looks like it's working. It's definitely my favorite title screen of all the expansions. Only really hits home once you've actually played through most of the story, though. Like most of the expansions, meaning. Alright, let's get on with it. I think I talked to everybody yesterday, right? Yeah, I did. Alright. That's where we left off, the Void Theory. Look who I came across. Vestinian seemed in need of diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. Right then. Now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Matsu's boat again? Probably. Not this time. Once you still informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be ready at Akyali. To be made ready at Akyali. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host. Shall we? Okay, fuck this. A little bit shorter distance. It was likely not needed with Varshan alone, but I held on to the map against the chance we might return to the ruins. I mean, you paid good money for it, so you might as well. On to the boat, if you please. We can chat on the way there. Alright, your soul is on a mission. You need not keep your weapons close at hand. The Guardians will not attack if I am present, so I pray you leave them be. He doesn't want us murdering them again. In all this time, I thought the tales of Alzabal's horde were no more than drunken sailors' fancies. Well, surprise!
Surprise, motherfucker!
The ship is yours to command. Our thanks. We set sail at once. Oh, this is exciting! Alzadal's legacy, to see the truth of the legend with mine own eyes. All aboard for the treasure vault. Proceed to the Weaver's warding. Ooh, quite a funny little boss battle. I thought we cleared this place of constructs the last time we came through. It would seem a few stragglers remain. What do you mean? Poor Vitra. He really should have spoken with Justinian before we left. I shudder to think that we've cost them what we've cost them in terms of construct materials. You mean Justinian murdered more Guardians on the way here? You laid waste to them ere I could utter a single word. What the hell? You should have told him before we got on the boat! So I guess off-screen, Justinian just murdered more fucking, you know, Guardians and constructs, I guess.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Gra has theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment.
What else would it be?
Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Took me a moment to realize she was asking me. Say nothing and look meaningfully at Justinian. If you want to test it, my first thought was this. So I'll just be honest and say that. Maybe sound familiar?
Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Wait till you see the... No.
I just like the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
I don't know, but that's why I played that sound effect. I'm guessing this is gonna be funny.
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born. Water, froth and foam!
Of course, that little fucking thing from Shadowbringers? The little water pixie? Also, love the Sailor Moon-esque fan service with Yustola here.
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That is adorable.
Never heard Yustola talk like that before, but that was cute. Oh my god! Is she disappointed or overwhelmed by cuteness?
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
It seemed very Sailor Moon-like, yeah.
In any case, these two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale.
Yustola's becoming a magical girl.
And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption.
Every Yustola Sims fantasy,
If I
right?
could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
They make it too easy, man. I have to tease her. After seeing that shit. Froth and foam.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know.
What?
Let us begin, shall we?
Oh my god. This shit is too funny.
Nixies, into the void.
Yeah, all that aside though, that was pretty cute and funny though, to see you still do that. Like she channeled her inner child there for a second. Every time I come here it reminds me of that dark portal above the crystal tower. And the final lash of Asdaya's tail as she plunged into the void. Sister, save me, I will never see Yustola the same way again. Froth and foam indeed. I know, right? We've never seen that side of her. I struggle to picture Yustola as a little girl. Easier to believe she sprang fully formed from one of Master Matoya's cauldrons. Ha! She's getting torn up on all sides. And then the ear wiggle too. When her ears went down, she got embarrassed when she saw little pixies. We need to wait for a time to ensure a meaningful result. Be patient and keep watch for any intruders. Yeah, if anything comes out of that hole, we'll fuck it up, don't worry. Here, I'll get ready. There we go. Whew. Nice of them to give you an opportunity to take a little break right there. Pause chant.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
That other one looks like it didn't do so well.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time. I must reseal the Void Gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
You can see the talisman inside of it, too.
Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct, then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Aurosite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness.
I wonder if she would still mention this if you didn't do that questline, though.
It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Unikal High Spirit from his final battlefield. But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion.
Yeah, exactly. The barmaid at the Wandering Stairs, or same person, Ardvert's companion, the Elven Swordwoman. Silva, now known as Ciela.
Silva? The adventurer who traveled with the Warriors of Light? And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns?
Yep. Wow, this cutscene would probably be very different if you didn't do the Master Roll quest from Shadowbringers and the Warring Triad stuff. I'm guessing.
I see. So Ciela, or rather Silva, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism as Unikal High. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
An adventurer at heart, just like us,
First,
huh?
I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could, if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
He was lost in thought.
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Well, that was quite something. Seeing the Void's terrors firsthand was an experience, but I doubt fear of such creatures is at the root of Vitra's hesitation. Yeah. A Satrap's duty. Once Nidana succeeds in replicating the mock Atomos, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours, but yeah. Damn, I thought I was actually gonna sneeze that time. I came close. To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the Void myself. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first. Well, there you go, being as mysterious as ever. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? Yeah, exactly. It's like, there he goes being as mysterious as ever, all brooding and shit. I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Sure. Anyway. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? Yeah. As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemists who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? Well, these are both true, but these guys are gone, so... I guess the Garland Ironworks, then? An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the Void and its volatile energies. Nope. Excuse me. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Ralger's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Alright. We're gonna get to see Jesse again. Maybe even Nero. Oh shit! The generous instant teleport. I say generous because, you know, you don't have to pay for teleportation fees. Perhaps this young man can locate Sid for us. See. What's up, buddy? Leon, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually. Assuming he's available. Master Sid? Certainly, I'll see if he has a moment free. A pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us? Yeah, been a while, man.
Dylan!
Heading into the void to find the lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Meteon and that bloody mess. Yeah, I know. I think a lot of players feel the same way, actually. This is a little fourth wall breaking, isn't it? I remember seeing some people react to the end of Endwalker going, how am I ever going to give a shit about another story after this? They were like, it was just too good, you know? It cut so deep emotionally that it's just like, how are they going to write something that's going to catch my interest the same way again? But I have faith in them. I think they could probably do it. I don't expect something on that scale to happen again so soon, though. I do think the next adventure will probably be more lighthearted. I said that before. But still. You know, only time will tell. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation? Yeah. It seems some manner of corrosion has set in around the scratch on its surface. Much as the Void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how might we achieve that? We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. That's true. It could affect its warding capabilities if you change the alchemical balance, so... We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity so as not to impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor, as you said. Nero has compiled that on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. Ha! The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. That's always how it goes, isn't it? Jessie's a party pooper. Because, you know, Mama runs a tight ship. It's all business, man. I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Nidana is getting on with the mock Atimov. After you, milady. Only got one free teleport, feels bad, man. The insatiable curiosity of our alchemists has ever amazed me. Though I've largely left them to their own devices since we opened the gate together. I hope Nidana has good news for us. We'll find out.
Ah, hey Stola! The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
I mean, we saw this when they...
And were you not also fearless? Heedless even, in your determination?
They tested the warding scales in the Tower of Zot. Nidana was fearless for that shit. I was like worried for
My
her.
sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Throw me off, dude. Fucking Fandaniel's voice actor over here.
What is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan.
Holy shit, dude.
You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again, too.
Dylan!
Well, that's what he went to go do. Bravo, Estinian. He knows what he's doing. You can always count on him. To protect them well, you must take heart.
Take heart and protect them well.
Your words to me.
Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them.
It happens to us all.
If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnair for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
Too late, man. I'm already tearing up over here. What a beautiful scene. It just shows, like, how much his people really stand by him. That's, it's very moving. We'll have that uttermost built before you know it. When a project like this comes along, we give it our full and undivided attention. Please? Who needs it? Everyone. Oh, that reminds me. I really should finish that other project I was working on for His Excellency. What was it? What? Someone needed to give that boy a good talking to. You don't suppose I'll be reprimanded, do you? I did just yell at the saw trap. You did. Shit was crazy. That dude popped off, dude. I think if he hadn't done it though, Leon was going to though. He was getting pissed too. Convincing others to follow their hearts is not my forte. I would have gladly let out more philosophical comrades take the lead, had they been here. Let our more philosophical... I said out for some reason. I will not squander this chance you have given me. I will find Azdaya. We'll find her together, buddy. You surprise me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Vitra reach this conclusion. It was for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the palace racked by some unnatural storm. Is that the excuse? Oh, now you just embarrassed Varshan over here. What of your own answer, then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage, and the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Ratatoska's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there's a chance we can spare Vitra that pain, then I will follow you. An unusual crew we have here. Indeed, but perfect for our purpose, I should think. I'd rather not bother the Scions with aught less than a dire threat to the star. Good point. Now, on to specifics. Excuse me. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. That's smart. It would be more convenient had we some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduka. Alright, that works. Anything else? No. Like how I'm so used to not being over here that I totally, forgot I was in the same town and yesterday during that last stream, and I fucking did this. Or, I teleported like this to the same fucking place. Oy. But again, to be fair, in my defense, my mind was somewhere else too. I was very distracted at the beginning of yesterday's stream. It's relevant, so I will talk about it later, but depending on how relevant it is, which I won't know until I finish the MSQ. Please, may you aid the Saw Trap in his endeavor, even as he aids you in yours. Conducting our expedition out of the Rising Stones would raise just as many questions as recruiting too many Scions. At least here in Razatan, we might be expected to appear road-weary from our local explorations. Excuse me. I was put up in a guest room in the palace while I awaited my audience with Vitra. I expect we'll be given the use of something similar. I guess? And so we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduta in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Azdaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. He's come around now. He's on board. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now is the time. Will do. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. Same old Edgelord Estinian, go for it, buddy. You know what this means to me, Leon, but my purpose need not consume you as well. Excuse me? We are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience. For you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Reminds me of what Venal said on the boat when we were heading to Old Charlene at the beginning of Endwalker. It says, I know your traveler's heart yearns to see a new place. A new unfamiliar place. Yes, it does. Man, it's like they were already setting you up to say yes to Xenos when he accuses you. To say that you can't deny it. Meanwhile, in the 13th, not just elsewhere anymore, some vague description. It reminds me of Nidhogg's lair a little bit. Quite a lot, actually. The Airy. It reminds me a lot of that. I take it this is someone different then. It is. It's not the same Black Knight figure we saw. Some kind of Reaper with a scythe. Well, obviously. It looks like a Reaper of some kind. Oh! Now it looks like Xenos' avatar when he was a Reaper. Oh, because Xenos died, he went back to the 13th, because the avatars are basically void set.
This world, bereft of saviors.
I'm guessing it's Xenos' avatar. Since he died, his avatar went back. The Reaper's avatar is basically just a borrowed void sen, right? My paths unlocked, adventures spur, pulses quicken, spirits stir. That's it? Newfound adventure. Trophy earned. Neat. So that's it then. And now we wait for 4 months, right? Well, since I'm so late on catching up to everything, I only gotta wait 2 weeks now. 6.2 drops in about 2 weeks. Still, 4 months is a long time to wait. Our journey into the void promises to be neither short nor simple, yet I will persevere. I have kept my sister waiting for far, far too long. Right on. I'm guessing this is where the next quest will be then. That's usually how it goes. You know, the quest lines are usually a continuous flow, so... But again, since we're actually fully caught up, we have to wait until the next patch for the next quest to appear, of course, so... Alright, let's go right into... How long did that take? 50 minutes? Okay. Let's go right into, the next thing I was gonna do. Which was... I'm wondering if I want to do this now or after the Alliance raid. After I do the Alliance raid, fuck it. We'll come back to this later. The little one-off yellow marker side quest, we can do that later, yeah. The reason I want to do the Alliance raid first is because the Alliance raid storyline directly spins off of the MSQ. You know, Grawha told us about it earlier. So, I feel it's more fitting to do that right away. For the flow of the story, you know? So yeah, I guess after Xenos died, it's implied that's when that scene happened, where he said, "Thus I'm returned." Xenos' avatar. That makes sense. But I found it weird when you do the Reaper storyline. I found it kind of weird that some of the answer choices you get for the job instructor during the storyline were like, one of the answer choices was the only good void sense is a dead one, and I was like, well, what about the one that's helping you right now though? The avatar you get when you become a Reaper. I was like, a little offensive to your little partner there, isn't it? Well, I'm curious to see what they do with, Oh yeah, since we finished MSQ, I can talk about what happened earlier. I was just gonna say, I'm curious to see what they do with Xenos' little avatar now. Now that he's all independent. Back in the 13th, since his fucking master died. Right, going back to MSQ. So I was a little down in the dumps at the beginning of yesterday's second stream. The little 1 hour... well, hour and a half stream that I did last night before bed. Because... you guys remember how I was like... that cutscene with, the other person we saw in the Void. The Black Knight with the 4 elements, or elementals, I guess. I was like, I wonder who this is, and then the thing is, somebody basically spoiled the identity of the person, which I thought was probably just going to be confirmed later in the MSQ. It wasn't. We just finished, and nothing happened. But apparently, I was told before I did that stream last night, the second one, I was told that it's supposed to be Golbez from Final Fantasy IV. And then I looked up the artwork for Golbez, and I was like, oh shit, that's him, yeah, the Black Knight. Yeah, he looks just like that. I was like, oh shit, it's the guy that was the main villain for most of Final Fantasy IV. Until you find out he was just possessed by Zemus, who later transforms into Zeramis on the moon when you do the final boss battle, but yeah, so it's Golbez. And I was like, oh shit, that's pretty neat. But I was a little unhappy because I thought it was basically a spoiler for something they would probably just reveal later. But now that I'm fully caught up on MSQ, I see that they were never going to reveal that until, you know, probably a later patch down the line. Maybe even the one 6.2 coming up in a couple weeks, right? But that's why I was a little down in the dumps, because I was kind of like, it was kind of like it was the same person too. When I was spoiled about the Omega Raid questline continuing in Endwalker, which I'm guessing is, well, we're here right now, aren't we? I'm guessing it's this, the Heartless Hypothesis, since it has Alpha and Omega sitting there. That was spoiled for me by the same person back in Stormblood, so I got a little upset and I was a little salty about it. But, you know, I kind of got over it, so I was in a better mood now. But that's why I was kind of, like, out of it at the beginning of last night's second stream. Because I hate being spoiled. That's the reason why, you know, for my entire marathon, I had the chat in, like, emote-only and follower-only mode. Because I didn't want Endwalker spoiled for me. Now I've opened it up, because it's like, I'm pretty much caught up at this point. But, you know, who'd have thought the people that might spoil you the most are your friends. It's like, it kind of sucks. But yeah, so that's why I was a little salty and upset last night. Which is why I was kind of out of it, and I looked a little... I could tell on stream I was trying to hide it a little bit, but I looked a little moody, and I wasn't fully paying attention to all the dialogue at the beginning of that second stream last night. Which is why when he asked... I think when Vitra asked about, like, what we should do with the money and wealth from that you know, from the dungeon and everything, I was kind of like, what? Oh, right. And then I was like, yeah, just do this, like what they did in, you know, the Firmament and Ishgard. I was not fully paying attention to everything. But I guess it's fine now. I mean, the fact that they never did reveal the Black Knight's identity, then it's technically not a spoiler. So I guess it's fine now. It's just speculation, but probably very well-rooted speculation. He does look exactly like that. Golbez, I mean. It probably is Golbez. I just thought it was something that was, like, revealed for certain by the end of the MSQ. And now I see that it's not. So I thought it was, like, an actual spoiler, but... technically, no. Technically, it's just a spoiler for something that hasn't even released yet, so it doesn't really count. It's not as bad. So I'm like, alright, I guess I'm not so upset about it anymore then. So yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good, well-rooted speculation that that is Golbez. It makes sense with all the Final Fantasy IV references they've been doing. So. Alright, on to the Alliance raids. But I gotta turn on the fan real quick. It's getting warm in here. I will BRB.